Hey guys, thanks again for tuning in. Today I'm out in Werribee. This is where I lived at my sister's old commission house from about 14 to 18, 19. So when I first moved here, I guess the idea was to go back to school. My old man came out, paid for the books and stuff, and I enrolled just down the road. I think it was called Grange High School. By then, all I was doing was smoking cones all day, every day. Went to school and basically brought back all the, I was in year 10, so all the sort of year 11, year 12 kids, the older ones, just come back to this joint, smoking dope. Oh, it's actually, I think that red house right behind us. That was the joint there. Yeah, my brother-in-law Terry, he was an heroin addict, which I didn't know about at the time, and he kind of got onto it, I guess, by mistake, really. Like, even though they used to deal speed and chuff, he told me one day in North Melbourne, that's where they lived before here, North Melbourne Flats. He seen an Asian bloke stashing something in the petrol tank of his car, and he's gone and had a look afterwards and found, I think it's 3 ounces of pure, 3 or 4 ounces. Now I was in sort of late 80s. Yeah, and he just started smoking it at first, and then went to IV, which I didn't know. No one really sort of knew, I guess, except my sister. But yeah, anyway, so that's the joint there, the red joint. Looks pretty run down and messy these days. Would be just smoking cones. My sister as well. She was a bit of a pill popper, as in I don't know, pharmaceutical. Not, they didn't really have MDMA and all that sort of stuff. Eckies, not much really. Vowels, all that sort of stuff. So got right into that, and then shortly after, straight off the bat, I started dealing chuff just down the road, and that's how I ended up finding out about heroin, because Terry used to come to the joint where I was dealing chuff after he'd done his rounds all day, and I could just see he was off his guts, you know. And yeah, I guess I was inquisitive about that. I wanted to beat that off my guts too. Yeah, so when I was about 16, this is just down the street from my sister's, I went in that. I had a friend, this bloke Simon lived there. He had a hotted up HQ and that. We used to come here, and Terry used to borrow his car all the time while we would go get on. That's the first time I got really, heard voices, you know, as in paranoid, delusional voices. Basically, we're out in the backyard, me, Simon and Terry talking. And I was just having thoughts, just listening to what they were saying, and just having thoughts about what they were saying. Like, I don't know, I can't even remember the thoughts. I just put them as positive and negative thoughts. And I could hear kids in the backyard, like the following backyard, like in a horror movie, you know, like when they're laughing and playing. It was like that. And they were answering the thoughts that were going on in my head. Like when they were happy thoughts, I guess. The kids were like playing and happy and excited, and when I was having like negative thoughts, they were like crying and carrying on, and like I'm thinking like, geez, I'm controlling these kids, their behaviour with my thoughts, and I tested it out. It went back and forth like 6 times, you know, so it wasn't just a coincidence, it was very real to me. And now I know that, I think there's a spiritual aspect to it, you know. Like even if you look at the word pharmakia, you look at all old traditions. Pharmakia is a Greek word for sorcery, where we get the word pharmacy from, and all the old cultures and stuff like that. They'd be smoking dope or sniffing whatever, drinking whatever, and getting in a trance in the spirit realm. So I guess I was doing that. Or addicts do that, drug users do that. Some people know, some people don't, you know. It just has adverse effects. I'm a little bit paranoid because obviously holding a camera in a dodgy area like this, people are coming out having a gig and rah, so keep it short and sweet. Here we are, Werribee station. So as soon as I left school at 14, those units directly behind me, third one down, it's where I was dealing marijuana from. Nothing too hectic, just enough for me and the guy who owned the flat there to smoke all day, and maybe a couple friends. Do have a lot of memories around here. There's a train station there. That was all grass, didn't have the bus things there. I remember one day we used to terrorise this area. You know, like just walk the streets, like there'd be like 10 of us just running amok, all doing drugs, whatever. And one day, it was about, I don't know, about 8 of us or something, walking along, and this guy's coming up the ramp on the train station, you know, and he's like in his mid-20s, fit as, looks like he just got out. And he had a bag of, like a plastic bag, I think he had 6-pack of VBs or something in there. And we just met this guy, I nicknamed him Days of Our Lives. We just met him like half an hour before this incident. He's a little bloke, really good looking, you know. I don't know why he got involved in what happened next. But anyway, one of the girls, she starts like yelling and screaming at this guy, "You raped my sister," all this and that, carrying on. And like she's hitting him, slapping him, and we're just, the boys, we're just, you know, this is like the first we've heard of it, so we're just waiting to see if he reacts, and you know, we would have filled him full of holes, you know, we would have flogged him, but he didn't do nothing. He just kept walking. But good old Days of Our Lives. Oh, that's right. She smashed her, because we were drinking then too. She threw a bottle at him actually. And Days of Our Lives, he runs up and jumps on his back. And this dude's like twice his size, and like I said, we were like 15, you know, 15, probably 16, 17, the group of us. Mate, this bloke just flung him off, just give him with the bag, with the 6-pack bag, he's just gone swap, you know, just smacked him across the face, and this bloke's like knocked out on his knees like this, on his knees with his head like that, and this bloke just punted his head. He's like he's kicked the goal from 50. Mate, Days of Our Lives was out. He was gone. His face was basically caved in, and the bloke just kept walking. There used to be a laneway back there, you could just cut through all the flats. I think it's closed off now. And he was gone, you know. They called an ambulance and that for him. But yeah, we would absolutely run amok here. Not until sort of, I think 96, 97, the cops sort of started cleaning up the area, because they had the Olympics in 2000 in Sydney, but they had the equestrian down Werribee South. That's Werribee South down there. So they were putting a lot of money into the area, like paving and all this stuff, fixing up the streets and getting us derelict kids off them. But yeah, didn't phase too much. I never got in trouble, never got caught for anything in those days. Well, nothing serious anyway. So yeah, there we go.